Hello, I'm Maria Hall Brown, and this is LA Currents. Well, we all know what we should be doing in order to stay healthy. We should wear our masks. We should stay socially distanced by at least 6 feet. We should wash our hands. But I'm going to add one more thing to that list. It's really important that we get a flu shot. And here to tell us why and all of the details we need to know, I'm delighted to welcome back Joanne O'Brien, who is with the City of Los Angeles Medical Services. Wonderful to have you here.
Thank you for having me
You
again.
are my go-to person when it comes to all of these, what could feel like really complicated medical issues, because you make it very clear and concise. So thank you for being here to talk about flu shots. All right, I'm going to start right off the bat. What the heck does a flu shot do?
A flu shot helps your body make antibodies. And an antibody is a protein that will attack the virus in your body. So that's what a vaccine is simply. So when you are exposed to this virus, your body can fight off the infection.
So who should actually be getting these shots?
Everyone.
Everybody.
Everybody should get a flu shot, and especially if you have a chronic disease like hypertension, diabetes, cardiac disease. These are the things that make you more susceptible to your immune system isn't working as well. So that group especially should get a flu shot.
So why the push this year for a flu shot? Because there definitely is a huge campaign to get people cognizant and get people out there to get a flu shot. What is it about this year in particular?
Because of the pandemic, and I've heard the word the twindemic. We don't want two epidemics at the same time. If we don't protect ourselves against the flu, and there is also an outbreak of the flu, that will really impact our healthcare system, which we're already dealing with COVID, so you might have this double whammy going on. So you don't want to impact the healthcare providers because we already have the pandemic. So this is really the most important vaccination you should get this year.
Can you get the flu from a flu shot?
No, you cannot. You cannot.
Because I've heard that, by the way.
Absolutely, I've heard it so many times. It's a myth, and I'll tell you why. You can get the flu shot, and then there's people who say, every time I get the flu shot, I get sick 2 weeks later, or 2 days later. The flu shot doesn't work until 2 weeks. Your body has to make those antibodies, and it takes up to 2 weeks. So from the time of getting the shot to your immunity, you could be exposed to the flu and get it.
And then, of course, COVID is very much on everyone's mind. And the symptoms are, somewhat parallel, but at the same time, specifically different. Because you mentioned fever, so that's something. So what are some of the things that you should understand the difference between the flu and COVID-19?
The similarities are just almost in line. They're very, very, very similar. They both can cause respiratory problems. Some of the onset symptoms for both are you're feeling achy, you have a fever, you may get a cough, you may have a sore throat. The one big sort of cardinal difference with COVID is many people will lose their sense of smell and taste. That does not happen with the flu. And this is the key. If you don't feel right, call your doctor. Go get tested for COVID. There's also, most doctors' offices have them, there's a rapid test for flu. So they can tell the difference in about 10-15 minutes. It's similar to like the blood sugar machines.
The fact that we have been, in theory, socially distant, I wonder if the flu season is going to be as aggressive as it has been in the past. I mean, I think many of us have actually noticed, if we've been taking care of ourselves, that we're not getting colds, or we're not getting, communicable, not as dramatic things as COVID. But, yeah.
You're absolutely correct. So if you are doing all of the things that you're supposed to do with the pandemic, washing your hands, staying away from people, wearing a face covering, it should help you not get the flu, but you should also get the vaccination. So you add one more on that. It's just one more layer of protection.
And to put things in perspective, I mean, sadly, COVID was likened to the flu. And it's obviously far more communicable and far more deadly. But at the same time, the flu can also be deadly.
Correct. There's about 30,000 deaths a year from the flu. It can be deadly. It can make you very ill. any age. We've had even children that have died from the flu, so it can make you very, very sick, but the key is it's preventable.
So what are some of the myths that we need to dispel between, the flu and COVID-19? COVID-19, the longer we are dealing with it, the more we learn about it, the more extensive we understand its damage to the system at large. Does the flu attack a specific part of the body and more or less than COVID? I mean, what are the differences and what are some of the myths about COVID is not?
They say COVID's just like the flu. I mean, we've all heard that. That is simply not true, because if you look at statistically, the COVID is 6 times more deadly than the flu. 6 times. That's big numbers. That's a lot. It's a lot. And then what we're seeing now is those individuals that have been really ill and in ICU or have become very ill, their recovery is very long. And what they're starting to just identify, it's brand new, that there are neurological problems, like with memory and speaking and even their affect, the ability to laugh or smile and react emotionally like you're supposed to. So they're starting to see some cognitive or brain problems. And they're starting to see heart problems, lung problems. I personally know very young, early 30s, picked it up, didn't really have severe symptoms, isolated, went to a hotel, and this is about a month after she's recovered, and now she's starting to have cardiac and lung problems. Completely healthy, no comorbidities young. So that's why, these stories are real, and I think because it's so brand new, we're gonna start seeing some more data about, after someone recovers. So, and even what they're seeing now too is some of the younger kids that have had the mild symptoms, months later, they're showing up with symptoms, like asthma-like symptoms. So they think it's a reaction of an inflammatory response.
I was going to say, are we going to redefine it? It's not necessarily a respiratory issue. It's a lot larger.
They might, because it seems like it affects a lot of symptoms, or in your body, your brain, your heart, your lungs. So.
What's the word on the street about being able to treat? Now, not the vaccine to be able to prevent, but to be able to treat. I mean, what are some of the innovative things that are happening with the treatment of COVID? Last time we talked, it was positioning in a bed and keeping lungs.
I think the administration of steroids, which helps calm down that inflammatory response. So I know that's new. They're using some antibiotics, but we're getting better at treating it, so I think that's why we see a little bit of the hospitalizations going down and the death rates going down, because we're getting better at just treating it. And I honestly think it's case by case, because you see so many different responses.
In terms of COVID, how are we doing as a city? I mean, you kind of get a bird's eye view of, we've moved from the worst to not so much the worst, but are you feeling optimistic about the direction we're taking?
I am. We're not exactly where we're supposed to be, but absolutely heading in the right direction. There's less hospitalizations, less positive cases. The positivity rate is going down. So this is all really, really good signs, and kudos to LA, because it shows everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
So if someone wants more information, how can they reach out and get more information?
I would go to the CDC. They have a really comprehensive website. You could just put in CDC flu and it'll pop up. LA County has a really good site as well. I was looking at it this morning. So
Great.
There's tons of information out there.
All right. Well, thank you again for allowing me to ask ridiculously naive questions, and B, making a very complicated subject incredibly understandable. You were always really on the cutting edge of all of this, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and your questions were great.
Well, we can't go that far, but thank you for doing it anyway. Anyway, so remember, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay 6 feet apart, and get a flu shot. It's super easy. And that's a wrap on this LA Currents.